This is the platform. Let's talk about it.
What up, Doe?
I'm your boy Doe.
What up, man? It's farji, man. Man, welcome to Let's Talk About It, man. Thank you for being here, participate. You know what I'm saying?
Let's get to it, man. Let's get to it. We're finna call some people and talk about an issue that's never
Let's do an interactive one real quick. What y'all want to talk about?
But I thought you was going to.
Oh yeah.
I was gonna say what it was gonna say. What is you doing, boy?
What y'all want to talk about?
Y'all can tell us what y'all want to talk about too.
Shoot us a subject. We'll be going through it.
But one thing we was gonna talk about, which never gets old, you can't never talk about it enough, is how is us black and brown people. I'm gonna even just say black, even though I love the brown people too, but just talk about us, you know, just right now.
For a brief second.
We us black people get kidnapped or go missing or whatever else you want to call it, organ
man, they get organ harvested,
all that type of stuff.
All that.
But soon as somebody else go missing, they get to looking for them right away. They want to bring the SWAT team in and blah blah blah.
The FBI gets called in.
All that. And don't get it wrong, everybody's life is important, but that's the reason why we say Black Lives Matter, even though we don't condone that group. But the reason why we say that though is because they forget that our lives matter. The
thing about it, right, is like, let's talk about financial growth and development. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. We can do that. But we want to touch on the missing women and men, right? So in Chicago right now, man, like it's an epidemic going on, not only in the city of Chicago, Minneapolis, St. Paul, like this stuff is happening across the whole country, where young women, young men are coming up missing, and they are not getting the publicity or the care that the standard society would give them. So like being black, brown, indigenous, you know what I mean, where we are, you know what I mean, when individuals from our community come up missing, there is not the response that's needed in order to make sure that these individuals are found in a timely manner, or to see if these individuals are ever found, period. So we wanted to touch on that, man. It's an interesting topic, man. I know there's guys out here that got daughters, you got sons, you know what I mean? If something happened to your child or something happened to you personally, you would want individuals to take the time out to find you. So today, on this platform, Let's Talk About It, we are going to reach out to a family that has been dealing with it. And my personal family, but I'm not going to get too deep, you know what I mean, because I don't want to disclose too much information. If you want to know, you can definitely do the research on JERRICA Laws. But we're going to reach out to my big sister and kind of see what's going on, you know what I mean? It's a lot going on in this world. We have families that have loved ones that come up missing. So why not talk to somebody that's had to deal with this tragedy, man? I've had to deal with it, but nobody could feel the pain that my big sister feels after something like this. So how do you guys feel about it? Like, do you know of anybody that has been, you know, came up missing, or know of anybody that's been struggling with this, or a family that's been dealing with this where they have not been able to find their loved one, you know? And in my opinion, it needs to be more resources spent on being able to assist families and reconnect them with their loved ones. So let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. We're about to make a quick phone call. Okay, we're going to call back. You know what I'm saying? So we're going to talk about JERRICA Laws.
Oh, look, I just, I was just finna go live on my Facebook, and I see a post that say, and this is St. Paul, Minnesota, to say, keep your eyes on a black man in a white van with tinted windows. My daughter just ran in the house saying he tried to tell her to come here. By the time I went outside, he was already gone. She said he's wearing a black hoodie.
So Minneapolis,
and that was five hours ago.
Minneapolis, be on the lookout for a black male in a white van with black windows. Just tried to abduct a young lady in Minneapolis.
No, this is St. Paul.
St. Paul, so please be careful out there. Right now, I just made a call in. How you doing, Sean?
Hi.
What's up, Sean? How you doing? You live on the Let's Talk About It show. We kind of did a little introduction as to what's going on. I'm going to have to put my phone over here so the world can hear you. but we did a brief introduction about, JERRICA laws and, what's going on, and wanted to kind of get your insight and your opinion on what's been going on and, the trend of what's happening in our society.
Are you there?
Yes, can you hear me?
I can hear you now.
Well, welcome to the show, Miss Lady.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. So we briefly went over what's been going on with JERRICA laws, little sister, and wanted to kind of get your thoughts on what's been happening in society in regards to, black and brown, men and women coming up missing and not getting the same response.
That's right. That's so true. The phone blinked out. I guess I have a bad connection. I'm not sure. But yeah, you're talking about how the media actually does, or even the police departments actually give their resources for people that's not of color.
Right.
I've been in the, watching the news, and the Gabby Patino and Brian, and I just found that it's a disadvantage for when they start looking for African American people, if they ever stop.
So,
for one thing, they went to his parents' home and they didn't do anything, after her parents reported her missing. And honestly, in my house, we were the prime suspects, and they never went to go look for my daughter. Never.
wow. So in the situation that we are discussing in regards to JERRICA laws, you're saying that the police did not even show anywhere near that amount of care or concern for what was happening?
Not at all. Because she was an adult, and Gabby was an adult too, just to make some comparisons.
Right.
And the two young ladies, they told me that they didn't actively search. The reason why they even came to my house was after the people started calling. I asked my family and friends on Facebook, actually, to start calling the police so they can actively look for her and do something as it relates to her case.
Wow.
But they wouldn't even take the case seriously because they told me she was an adult.
Wow. So in the case, when family members report their loved ones missing, the police departments do not actively investigate those cases. In fact, they are reluctant to even follow up on the situation. Has there been any follow up?
Well, I just this year, and this marked the 6-year anniversary of her disappearance.
6 years.
6 years. This year, the Cook County Sheriff's Police actually formed a division to actively to open cold cases, if you will. And what has happened with that is they came and did an interview, and they are going back with a fine-tooth comb over her case details. But even getting her on websites, because it was an open and active case, I had to get the approval of the police department, which served to be very frustrating for me.
Wow.
I asked them to engage the FBI, and they said no. They couldn't. The one thing they did about 3 or 4 years later was put her picture on the FBI website, and that was it.
So,
go ahead.
In regards to the case, so you made a plea to the police officers or the district in which this happened to reach out to the FBI for support, and they pretty much said that they could not provide that support?
Yeah. They went as far as, I got in touch with a group called Nameless.
What's the name? Can you say that name of that group one more time for us?
Nameless. Namus.
Nameless.
Nameless.
So for the viewers that are online, please, take notes of the information that's being shared right now. This is coming from my big sister. Family personally had to, deal with the fact that the police are not actively investigating a missing person case the way that they should in our community. So.
Yeah. But I contacted contacted Nameless. I did a lot of Google searches for missing to just get her picture out there and trying to get the resources aligned in order to look for my baby, you know. And Nameless is the National Missing and Unidentified Person System. They agreed to do her DNA and have it turned around to the police within 48 hours.
Okay.
However, my police department decided they were not going to use Nameless, and I had a person that was working directly with me at Nameless. They said they were going to send her DNA through the channels of Cook County.
Okay.
And we did not get the DNA back. At least it had to be a year and a half, when I could have had the DNA right away.
Wow.
Man.
So it was.
I mean, you know, and they actively, and my heart goes out to Gabby's family. It really does, because losing a child or a child is lost, it hurts.
Right.
I get it. But the resources they used to find that lady, they didn't use that with my baby.
Right.
Still to this day.
And that's what we want to touch on is that discrepancy.
And so let me ask this, and even though it shouldn't matter at all, period, but do we think that them services is getting paid for? Like, far as, you know, like, I don't know, do they offer any services to the victims? Do they say, well, if you pay this, we can do this, or do they even offer stuff like that?
This stuff should be free, to be honest.
Yes, you're right, but
It's free.
But do they I don't know. I'm just like, do they?
No, they didn't ask me to pay for anything, because I would put my house on the market to pay for finding my baby.
Okay, so yeah, I was just wondering if they do that.
So the discrepancy lies not in being able to offer or put up money, but the discrepancy lies in them being able to provide the resources for the families, depending upon where their zip code lies or the color of their skin, for the most part.
Right.
To say it all the way for real,
it's unfortunate, but I believe it's the color of the skin.
Right.
I mean, even in my community,
So she got people saying they would help
that
too.
actually police my community don't even live in my zip code.
Right.
And they're not a representation of me.
Right.
So it's not that sense of urgency to look for our people, in my opinion. And I witnessed it hands-on.
Oh yes.
You know, the first place you go to is the police when you have a problem of this nature.
Right.
Right.
And you expect that they have some sense of urgency, because this is your loved one, and maybe they can put themselves in your shoes.
And see,
They put out, but they don't.
they don't, and that what brings up the most interesting and the most diabolical side of this. It's a possible conspiracy theory, but in my honest opinion, maybe the police are involved in some of these things that are happening in our communities.
Definitely.
Like, how are these things occurring in our communities and we're not seeing those struggles? We're not hearing nobody screaming for help. We're not, you know what I'm saying, not even, you know, being aware of all of these people that are just coming up missing. So at some point, maybe, you know, is there somebody that is voluntarily getting people to come towards them without a struggle? Are people not screaming? Who are the individuals that are vested in the well-being of missing girls?
I don't think it's the fact that they're not, you know, like,
missing young men. Somebody is vested. Somebody vested in this. Or if they wasn't vested, this wouldn't be able to go on the way it is.
Yeah, I don't think it's like things of the nature of nobody sees or nobody hears or nothing like that. I think it's all the above. But you know, like you just said, somebody. Obviously, if we're talking about organ harvest and stuff of that nature, then you know, of course, there's people that's in power definitely involved.
They vested,
you know, and that goes from back to like anything in life, like selling crack or drugs or whatever. You get big enough, you can pay off the local police, probably not the feds.
And that's why they didn't want to
like
get the feds involved. You know what I mean? It's like, why wouldn't you want the assistance of the federal government to find somebody's child? Really? I mean, it just doesn't make no sense to me. And why would you not come with all the resources that you could possibly have to make sure that the family is realigned with their loved one. You know?
Right. And I agree with you wholeheartedly. And I had a missing persons event in 2018.
Right.
Pre-COVID. And I put on the board anyone that was missing within a 15-mile radius of my home. Now, if you go 2 blocks south, you're in a different town. 2 blocks north, you're in a different town. 2 blocks west or east of my home, you're in a different town.
Right.
So you have, I live in Park Forest, you may have Richmond Park is to the south of me, and then Chicago Heights is to the east of me, Madison is to the west of me, and Olympia Fields is to the north of me. I plotted, I put people's pictures on a big board to display all these missing kids, adults, and children for the police to see. They asked me, where did you get this information? I said, it's all public.
Right.
And these kids were going missing like almost every day.
And these are in the surrounding neighborhoods in which you live.
Each police department operates independently.
So they don't share the information.
In my opinion, I'm not sure that they're sharing, because a lot of the young girls that was going missing was around, I would say, 16 to 24. Same height, between 5'0" and 5'4", and 100 to 150 pounds. Would you know like an estimated number of how many young women came up missing around the same time JERRICA came up missing in your immediate area?
And what year was that again, please?
That was
2015.
2015.
2015. And it was and around the same time, like the same month, I would say it was like 25 girls.
25 girls.
25 young ladies and women.
Wait a minute.
But I did put men on the board too.
Oh my God. And the police is not getting involved. So the police not capable of tracking down 25 little girls on top of the young men, and they don't want to call in the FBI. It's something to that.
They did not. And tracking phones, I don't know how they found Gabby.
But for one,
the phones found cameras.
The
police told me, well, this is not like CSI on television.
But for one white girl, they called the sheriff, the police, the FBI. But for 25 black girls, they did not involve the FBI on one case.
That's right.
See now
that's a goddamn problem.
See now that's why
that's a problem.
And look, and that's what made me ask about the paying thing, because you just said the same. So you just said something. You just said they told you this was a CSI, right?
It was.
So they being sarcastic too, though.
Right, but let me say this real quick. And that's the reason why I was asking and wondering, like, I wonder, is people paying for that day? Because I was thinking that, like, you know, on TV, every blue moon person can get that kind of service. So for them to tell you this ain't CSI, that means they're not even providing that. Well, so how do you turn around and provide it for somebody else then?
Because she was a white girl.
But if you sit there and tell somebody this ain't CSI, but then turn around and do CSI,
they get smart with us. So there's this disconnect.
I mean, I had a detective at the time. I don't want to say verbatim. I'm not going to use profanity, but he called me. I was on the floor of JERRICA's room crying, and they had just finally left my house after I think it was the 4th day of her missing. And he said, how are we going to look for your daughter and answer media calls? And he used profanity and hung up in my face.
What?
I reported the detective at the time.
They covered for him.
He got promoted.
Wow.
Promoted. In my same, he got promoted. And I reported what he said to me to the sergeant. But they have a code of, they brothers in blue. I'm telling you, they stick together.
That's
I was in the station one time to go over her case because I stayed at that station. You hear me?
Right.
I wasn't going to I wasn't going nowhere till they found my baby. And I heard the officers talking about a lady who reported her car stolen. The words they used to describe this woman was just a mess. You hear me? I never would have thought that they would talk about this lady whom I didn't know like that.
Wow.
Then they walked past the exam room. Oh, someone's in there, and that would be me.
Wow.
Their whole tune changed after that.
Wow.
But to hear them, that lady called in because her car was stolen. It don't matter who stole the car.
Right.
Her son, her brother, boyfriend, whomever. She reported her car stolen. But she was everything under the sun. You hear
Wow.
me?
Wow.
And these are the people that police our community.
Wow.
They don't even live here. The detective that was on my case lived in Frankfurt. I live in Parkland. Frankfurt is a nice area. But he's able to police my community.
Right.
That didn't make sense. They all stick together, I'm telling you.
Wow.
They harassed my family. Man.
Wow.
It was not a good experience at all. But
Wow.
I told the detective, I told the chief, I told him, I don't care what you do. I ain't never moving from my address. My phone number will still be the same until you find my baby, unless I die first. I ain't going nowhere. And I'm still here.
That's power. That's power.
My heart goes out to you, Queen, and I'm very
powerful.
I send my well, no, it ain't no condolences.
No.
Sorry, but no.
Because we gonna pray this
Yeah. So no, my heart just
No.
goes out to her. We do find her, and you get some closure and some
Wow.
peace.
Wow.
And thank you for being brave enough to stand up and keep fighting, and you know.
This, I mean, it just gets so tricky, man, because these boys will back each other up, man.
They will.
They will back each other up, even when they know they bogus as hell, man.
They
Like,
could be wrong as two left shoes. You get me as
man, and then the funny part about it, it's not like, so we know they like that, and they wonder why people say, okay, it's time to abolish this system and just kind of break it down and rebuild it, right? But that's just one system that does that. It's done in healthcare too. So, you know what I mean? We go to the hospital, man, and we thinking that we going in to get the help that we need, man. It be some of the same conversations going on about individuals, about who they are and where they come from, versus let's get these people better. You know what I'm saying? And it's just sad. There's no compassion. There's no empathy. It's a lack of like care all the way around the board. Like, how can you exert all these millions and millions of dollars to find one white girl that went missing? It's 25 black girls went missing in the same neighborhood, and the FBI is not even called.
Right.
What's that tell
and
you?
I believe you with this.
And you?
What's man?
They brought, when they came to my house, they brought dogs, right? And I'm thinking, there's a difference. There's cadaver dogs to look for dead people, and there's live-scent dogs to look for alive people. The only dogs they brought to my house was cadaver dogs. They never brought live-scent dogs. So they thought my baby was dead at my house. I was the suspect.
Wow.
Even after learning she wasn't here, they never put forth the effort to find her. That's heartbreaking. Now, I understand you have to, they let Brian's parents go. I think they even let him go, if I'm speaking correctly.
Yeah, they let him go too.
But my whole family was suspects in the disappearance of their sister and my daughter. We were suspects, and the buck stopped here. You hear me?
Yes,
They
ma'am.
never looked outside of me.
Never looked outside.
That's my family. But they let that boy go and his parents. That'll never happen with a black family. It didn't happen to me.
This powerful.
And I'm
No.
I get in my feelings because
No, we
Don't apologize, sis. Don't
No,
apologize.
we
it's unfair.
we give you the most praise for being able to talk about it and share it with everyone that you don't even know, and stuff like that. That much courage and strength. And yeah, man, our hearts go out and definitely in our prayers, and we definitely gonna get this out to as many as people that we can get it out to.
Yeah, please share the video. If you're watching this, man, while we are letting our guards down in our community, you know what I mean? People are coming in and taking our loved ones, man. It ain't nothing we can do. We out here doing everything to self-destruct except make sure that we can protect everybody in our community. Because we got to be the eyes for our neighbors. Don't nobody want, man, shouldn't nobody have to go through this. We need to learn how to be neighbors. We need to keep a watchful eye out. Start walking dogs in our neighborhoods, man, paying attention to what's going on, because there's a lot of young ladies coming up missing, especially from black and native communities.
People, period, but yes.
Yeah.
But yes, the black people don't get the love or the look.
In a million years that this would hit my doorstep.
Man.
I couldn't have guessed it. I'm telling you, never. You never know how it may hit your day and affect your life. So I used to see it on TV, and like, oh my God, my heart pours out, but I never did anything, But now I'm active, of course. But I will not, it was girls going missing on the west side of Chicago, and I'm far from the west side of Chicago. I plotted on the west side of Chicago and called the police department. It was within a 5-block radius. Y'all don't see that? I just want to know. What y'all do?
And
and I work full time. I'm not a police officer, nor am I a detective. But these girls are living 5 blocks away, and they going missing. What? Can you control the area?
Right.
And I don't even live in the community.
Wow.
I had another young lady, Brenda Jackson, went missing from my same area. So August, JERRICA went missing, Brenda went missing in January of 2016. I reached out to the mother, asked her, I said, I don't mean no harm. I know your pain. We need to band together. And we did, calling the police. They didn't look for Brenda either. Nope.
We got Jamil on here saying he love you, Sean.
Oh, I love you too, Jamil. I don't be on Facebook, but I need to.
and let's say this, because we said this a few different times, but that Chicago area or Illinois area or whatever is very it's very known for body harvesting and stuff of that nature.
Body harvesting, kidnappings.
The officer told me the reason.
And why is that?
He said, if you go a little east, you can hit 94. You can get on 294. All these are expressways. 90, 80, 355, 55. Because we're a hub for traveling. So it's easy to get out and go to another state of Illinois.
Yeah, that makes sense. Now that you say that,
What have guessed is because we're near. You just travel, even where I live, I can travel east or west and hit an expressway. And he says easy to get out from Illinois and to transport victims.
Wow.
And that came from a police officer.
That's because he know.
Right.
He know?
Man.
Yeah.
He know firsthand.
Yeah.
So
this is a deep conversation. Definitely bringing awareness, you know what I mean, to the discrepancies that's going on. What's up, bro?
Let me ask this one question then, kind of like, if there was one thing that you would like to see more done of, obviously it's 1,000 things, but if you could give them one thing that you think would be, the most important thing or the most helpful thing, what would you say, in your opinion, you think will be the most helpful thing, the most thing you want to see get done? Obviously, it's all of it, but, if you could give us one.
I want them to pull out all available resources when somebody reports their child missing, if it's an adult or child. No matter what color they are.
No matter what color, no matter the age, if someone comes up missing, every single person that comes up missing should obtain the same resources in being found.
That's right.
I got you. So I got a question.
That would be my wish.
I got a question for you. With all of this that's going on, what are you doing to take care of yourself?
Yeah, what's your mental health like?
You cry a lot?
I don't do very well of taking care of self. You know.
You like yoga?
I could try it.
I think yoga is extremely helpful. Just being able to just breathe and to just think sometimes. Well, I'm gonna come down there. We're gonna go do some yoga somewhere or something.
Okay, your sister's game for it.
Yeah, let's do that. You know what I'm saying? And just I'll probably send you. You know, Jamil, get your ass over there, man. Go do some yoga with my sister now.
That's right.
Well,
Straight up, cat. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take care of each other. You know what I'm saying? We gotta take care of each other. We gotta love each other. You know what I'm saying? We gotta start being neighbors for one another, man. We gotta start embracing each other. And for all the guys that's running around on the streets just shooting and stuff at each other, slow down for a second and start paying attention to what's happening in your neighborhood, man, to protect the young ladies and the young men in your community. I mean, if you're gonna be out there all day, be out there with a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Just don't be out there with the only sole reason is to destroy yourself. Protect somebody's little sister, man. So protect somebody's mother. Protect somebody's brother. You know what I mean? Like, that's what we got to do in order for us to succeed right now, because the world is against us.
man, it's always been. So we gotta stay together at all costs, at all times.
Well, Sean, definitely want to thank you for taking your time out to talk to the world today on Let's Talk About It. It definitely is on Facebook Live. You know, Jamil out here saying what's up. Definitely, it's a couple people. So
Yeah,
they here.
And once again, I just want to say, man, I just want to say, Queen, my heart goes out to you, and you're strong. You're strong, and I don't even, that's all I can really say, because you don't know what to say to a person that's going through what they're going through when you ain't never been through it.
Yeah.
So.
And it's up to us. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, true indeed, we got all these different powers that be, man. We know the police department working. They've been working since 1862. You know what I'm saying? So it's up to us, man, to uphold the integrity of our neighborhoods and uphold the integrity of the individuals in our neighborhoods. And it's time to start doing this. There's too many of us. My sister just told you 25 young women went missing in her immediate surroundings with no FBI support. What's that tell you? Can we rely on the police to protect us in these situations? I don't think so.
No, we can't. Well,
I think it's up to us to start really understanding who the fuck we are and what the fuck we supposed to do for our community.
No doubt.
No doubt. We're all we got.
We all we got.
Yeah.
Well, I love you. I'm going to see you soon. We're going to be doing some yoga meals. Go take my sister a crab boy. You know what I'm saying?
I just say you stay strong and you have a nice night.
Okay, you too.
Make sure you work on self too. Mental health is important.
Yeah, yoga sis.
Absolutely.
Yoga sis.
I love.
Okay.
I'll call you in a few minutes. Love you.
Love you
Hold on,
too.
All right, peace. Well,
well
let's talk about it, man. I think that was pretty deep, man. How y'all feel, man?
yeah, that was the deep one right there. That was probably our deepest one so far.
Man, almost brought
As
tears to my eyes.
far as how we did that too. Much respect to the Queen though, man. For being strong enough to express herself in times like this.
Yeah, mad respect to the individuals that actually kept up with the story, shared the live video. Like, these real conversations, I know sometimes we be shucking and jiving, but today is a real conversation. We really appreciate y'all tuning in. Definitely stay in tune with us, because we're going to be doing this a lot. And it's interactive. It's an interactive platform.
Yeah. Say something.
Say something.
We called in
Say
like
something,
just called in like the Queen just did.
Drop your lump in. We'll hit your line. Mills, what's up, man? What you want to talk about, bro?
We gotta play a game of this phone one time too. You know what I'm saying? Or dominoes or something too. While we just talk about it.
You know. But yeah, y'all know what's up, man. So let's talk about it, man. We gonna catch up. We got an N1 camera, but we still gonna go live. So we editing the one camera. Where we at on the battery? We good?
Is it good?
Okay, we good. So. I don't know, man. That was a hard topic, bro.
We might as well just sign off right here, though, because we could hold up before how we do it is. Hey, this is LTA, man. We love y'all, man. It's your boy Doe.
Man, what up, man? It's farji, man. Y'all stay smooth.
Chicago, like most big cities, has its fair share of unsolved crime. And in most of these cases, somebody saw or heard something. It could be a suspicious person, a car driving away from the scene, or simply overhearing somebody talking about the case. With your help, we can put these criminals behind bars where they belong. Here in Chicago, we have too many unsolved murders. We need your help. In these cases, the police department is only as strong as the citizens that get involved. Oftentimes, all the detectives need is a tip, a start. Somebody to call in and say, I saw something. Any little information that you know can be the impetus to solve the entire case. On tonight's episode, we'll be taking a look at the missing persons case of 24-year-old JERRICA Laws. In the evening hours of August 16th, 2015, JERRICA was seen walking alone in her neighborhood of Park Forest. Unfortunately, that was the last time she was seen or heard from. Here's her story.
JERRICA came home when she was 2 years old. JERRICA loved to sing, and she used to sing the Barney song and rock on the couch.
JERRICA is funny, very sweet, very humble. The nicest person you'll ever meet. She's the total opposite of the other 5 of us. Has the smile that'll brighten up your day.
JERRICA and her siblings are very, very close. They talk all the time.
I can talk to her about anything, go to her room all the time, and we'll sit down and talk, watch TV together, laugh. We was just close.
I wear my emotions on my sleeves, and she's always right there to be. Serena, don't do this. Serena, calm down. Or if I'm going through something and I may not say it, she's the first one to know. JERRICA, I always know when something is wrong with me. She's my peace of mind.
We'll talk about how our days went. We'll talk about, my feelings, because I don't really let my feelings out a lot, so she'll help me with that. Talk to her about how I feel about guys and my friends, or we'll just say things that make us laugh.
We go on family vacations each year, so they have conversations about growing up in the house with me. And she can mimic me and my grandmother. JERRICA can mimic us really well.
Her sense of humor is out of this world. I mean, our grandmother has lived with us our whole lives, and JERRICA is the one that can imitate my grandmother like no one else can. She can tell a story and use my grandmother's voice like it's her. We just died laughing. She's just the life of the party.
JERRICA was an excellent student in school. She was in special education because she has a learning disability. However, she still did well in school. She went to NIU for 1 year and worked the rest of the time, of course. Recently, she wasn't employed, but she was looking for work.
I know that she was involved in the church youth. So she'll go to one of her friends' church and volunteer a lot. She likes to walk around and look for things she can volunteer for, or she'll, volunteer with her friends, with other places, look for jobs and stuff, volunteer places.
I've been there for everything that JERRICA's been through. There hasn't been an occasion where she's done something that I haven't been there. She's just a joy.
On August 18th, 2015, Chantanelle Laws came to the Park Forest Police Department and reported her sister, JERRICA Laws, was missing. I met her the following day. Myself and a sergeant went to her house, spoke with her. We went through some of JERRICA's belongings, trying to ascertain where she might be, and the investigation started from there.
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On August 18th, 2015, Chantanelle Laws came to the Park Forest Police Department and reported her sister, JERRICA Laws, was missing.
My 25th high school reunion was the weekend of her disappearance. And she was cooking. She said, "Oh, Mom, I hope you have a good time." I came back from the picnic. She was going for her normal walk. JERRICA walked for exercise in my neighborhood.
Well, I was sleeping, so I don't really know when she left out the house. I just know I woke up about 12. I checked her room, and I'm like, she not in there. So I'm like, okay, maybe she went out with a friend. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait until she get home. So, I'm looking out the window, and she's still not there. So I'm like, okay, she probably spent the night over her friend's house. So, I'm just wait till the next day. Next day, she still didn't come, and I'm like, wow, where is she?
The next day, I went to work that morning, and I never really check her room because she always comes in. And if she's going somewhere and it's going to be out late, JERRICA will let me know. But dishes were in the sink. And I should have known that something was wrong because she washed the dishes at night, never leave a dish in the sink. But I went to work like normal and started calling her after I got in and texting and didn't get a response.
I was at home preparing to come up here for school, and she FaceTimed me as she normally would, but I was so busy trying to get everything together. I said, I'm gonna FaceTime you back. And I never did. I said, I'll call her back. I'll just go see her Monday, as I normally, I'm coming up there, I'm gonna go see them. And I didn't come to see them Monday because I was so busy. When I came Tuesday, my other little sister, Shania, was there. And I said, where's JERRICA? And she said, she's not here.
So, I'm starting to get worried, and my mom, she came in the room, and she was like, you know what JERRICA is? I'm like, no. I was like, I didn't even see her when she went out. And that's, we walked together. And then my mom called, and she said, was JERRICA here when you got here yesterday? I said, I didn't come yesterday, I came today, but she wasn't there. She said, I'm gonna call the police because something's not right. The dishes are still in the sink, and her purse is still on the bed. And I peeked in the room, but didn't pay attention really to anything. I just peeked in and seen she wasn't in there.
That's what alarmed me because JERRICA always carried big purses everywhere. And her purse, her ID, everything was left home with the exception of her cell phone.
That's just not like her. She is so out of her character. That purse, she always has that purse. Always.
I went to the police station after that. Her being 24, he said if she doesn't want to come home, she doesn't have to. And I just kept telling him, you don't understand, she would want to come home. And then, of course, they asked the standard questions. Was there any history of domestic violence? Does she have a boyfriend? And he just told me he'll take the report and put her in a database. And I went back that night to let him know she still had not returned home. And I went back the next day. And that's when they came to my house.
Myself and a sergeant went to her house, spoke with her. We went through some of Jerrica's belongings, trying to ascertain where she might be.
We was just, looking, trying to find like certain things that we can like find her, asking friends, did they see her? Like the last person she saw was her friend.
They went out and had dinner at Chipotle in Madison, Illinois. They stopped at another high school friend's house that was literally just a block away from her house. She said that she had to be back by a certain time, which was close to 7 o'clock at night, because she had to go meet with someone. Her friend took her back home. She told her family member that she was going for a walk. She left, and that's the last time anyone has seen or heard from JERRICA Laws.
Hi, I'm Lisa Guillen from Case Files Chicago, and we like to feature your case on our show. If you know of an unsolved homicide from the Chicago area, our team wants to help you close that case. Please visit our website at www.casefileschicago.com. While you're there, you can also view our database of unsolved murders that needs your assistance. Only by working together can we help solve these crimes and help heal our city. Thank you, Chicago, and stay safe.
On August 18th, 2015, Chantanelle Laws came to the Park Forest Police Department and reported her sister was missing. She's not a person to just leave without telling anyone. Her sister last saw her actually on August 16th. She noticed that no one had seen her, but they gave her a little extra time to see if she'd come around, and the next day is when they figured something was wrong, and they came and made the police report.
I always been her protector. I guess I'm just waiting for her to call and say, Serena, I'm here, or anything, and I'm not getting it. Maybe I should have called or called her back, told her I was coming to see her, instead of trying to just pop up. Maybe she would have stayed in that day,
She was kind of a list person, so she had a couple bulletin boards set up with goals that she had on what she wanted to do and where she wanted to be. The room was pretty orderly. There was nothing out of the ordinary when we were looking in her property.
She kept a couple of journals, and she had her book for her scriptures that she used to write. So they took some of the pages and then took her journal book and her scripture book, and they took her toothbrush, and they took JERRICA's hairbrush so they can process DNA.
We searched for social media. She had actually recently closed her social media account, so she didn't really have any ties on there. We did go through her computer, her emails, but there was nothing electronically that kind of pointed us in a direction on where she might have gone.
They did a search with the dogs. They did a search with the drone and door-to-door search in our neighborhood.
They did know JERRICA. They knew her because she'd lived there her whole life. They knew her when she used to walk around when she was a kid, and now they knew her now as an adult walking around. So everyone in the area knew who she was, and they were very cooperative with us. Unfortunately, though, nobody could tell us where she went.
We passed out flyers. We had this little candlelight vigil for her at the park.
We've called friends, we've Facebook, we've checked abandoned houses.
There is a path that goes right behind her house. It's called the Old Plain Trail. It's over a 20-mile trail that goes from Park Forest out into Frankfort. So because of that, we started doing ground searches. We did ourselves a ground search. We utilized a system, it's the Illinois Law Enforcement Alert System, which is also kind of called ILEAS. We asked 20 members of their agency to come out, and they did a ground search for us. We utilized canine searches, air searches. We had the Chicago Cook County helicopter up looking for her as well.
My job, ComEd, did 2 searches actually for me, and where we had volunteers from work to come out and pass out flyers and look along the bike path and businesses and roads to see if there was any signs of her.
Because we were told by Malcolm that the last place they went was Chipotle before she was dropped out at home, we worked with Chipotle. We ended up getting their surveillance video. It shows her on camera at about 6:03 p.m. Ordering her food, and that's the last time that we have her on any kind of camera.
It's hard to even see a picture or talk about her. Just not know what she is. It's rough.
It's terrifying. It's exhausting. I really want to find her,
Have you been in an accident? Have you been the victim of discrimination or had your rights violated? Have you been injured? If so, the lawyers at Hale Law would love to talk to you. We offer a free consultation. Call me, Andy Hale, 312-870-6926. 312-870-6926. I look forward to talking with you about your case.
On August 18th, 2015, Chantanelle Laws came to the Park Forest Police Department and reported her sister was missing. We started by talking with the family, trying to get a list of friends, relatives that we could talk to that she might have gone to right off the bat to eliminate those possibilities. We obviously looked for surveillance cameras in the area, but it was right in the middle of a neighborhood, so we didn't locate very many cameras, and the ones that we did find didn't have her on them. The searches that we did do, though, we did search the entire trail, the Park Forest area and the neighboring towns area. We also searched all the vacant properties, all the vacant houses. We searched just about every area around that neighborhood that we could find.
I always say you see this stuff happen, and you never think it will happen to you. And now here I am in somebody else's seat that was here before. As much as I don't want to talk about JERRICA, don't want to look at a picture, I gotta keep going and I gotta keep her story out there until I know something, until she comes home. I have to do it for her, because if it was me, JERRICA would be sitting here doing it for me. So I have to.
It's just sad. I don't like crying. I don't like doing that, but I don't know what else to do. It's kind of sad me waking up and she's not in the room. I really just want her to come home. I don't know what else to do.
There's no closure. And I feel that somebody had to have seen something, because a person just does not disappear. I can't wrap my head around that at all.
There were a lot of searches that were conducted, and then the weeks and even months after, we had more ground searches that were organized a lot by ComEd, because Chantanelle works for ComEd, and they kind of spearheaded a couple things for us as well. There were a lot of searches done, a lot of things done. There was no stone left unturned when it came to the searching for her.
The police department did everything initially that they could do. They did searches. They came out when we conducted our searches. They did searches with the dogs to see if they could get a scent. They went through the bike path as well. They did door to door. The drones, they had them up in the air in helicopter searches. I'm confident that they did what they could initially, but I feel that because it's been a long time, that they've exhausted all measures. But as a parent, you want them to do more because it's your child, you know?
It's been very hard. I spent 3 months alone just on this case when it first came in. There were a lot of things that were done that are even behind the scenes that the family's not aware of and that we worked on. So it's been very hard, you know, just not knowing in the end. We did a lot with the case, a lot with the family, and we still just don't really have any answers for the family to say, you know, what might have happened to her. And obviously the case is not going to be closed. We continue to ask the public and ask the community for help. Any kind of tips or leads that we do get, we obviously follow up on anything that we have. And until she's found, we're going to keep looking for her.
If anybody know anything about Jerrica, just say it. I mean, you don't have to say your name. I have to say anything. I just think we so closed and not sharing things. We scared, and so it only take one person. It could be the littlest thing that opens up a can of something. We have nothing. And for her to disappear in the middle of the day and nobody saying nothing, think about if this was your family.
You know, I try to keep going, keep living, but it's really hard to live when you have a child missing. It really is.
The investigation into JERRICA Laws is still active. We're asking for any help that we can get from the public, the community, to go ahead and give us any kind of tips or leads that we can follow up on that can hopefully point us in a direction to where we can finally tell the family what happened to JERRICA Laws. If anybody has any information regarding the disappearance of JERRICA Laws, they can contact the Park Forest Police Department at 708-748-1309. You can ask for me, Detective Marash, or any other detective that is working to give the information.
I just need her to come home. I need my peace of mind back. I need to see her smile. I need to hear her voice. I just need you to come home. That's it.
We want her home. Why would you strip her away from her family, from the people who love her? That doesn't make sense to me. Just let her go and let her come home.
The cases featured on tonight's episode remain unsolved, and we need your help. If you have any information on tonight's episode or any of the cases featured on the show, please give the detectives a call. We need our communities to come together so we can take back our streets and make our neighborhoods safe again.